Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to this video. This is going to be a 2017 year review. So all my hobby achievements, what I've painted, what I've not painted, some highlights of some of the videos and so on throughout 2017 that I've started to share on YouTube with you guys, and a kind of reflection and a kind of thank you to all the subscribers. I think I'm on about 312 as of today. So yeah, this video is it's just a catch up and review of what's happened on the channel since I started. So let's get straight into it. So this little crazy adventure on YouTube started back on January 22nd when I first registered with YouTube and uploaded my first video. Since then I've had 90,933 minutes of watch time with a total of 20,385 views. That's live as of today's statistics. Interestingly enough, that works out to be 63 solid days of view time on the channel. I'm quite impressed with that. I'm also more impressed with the 5 guys or 6 guys from Kazakhstan who have spent a minute watching my videos. While we're on the subject of vaguely interesting numbers, the most views I had was 1109 on a battle report between my Necrons versus a friend of mine's Grey Knights. Epic battle that's had the most views on the channel so far. So since January, what else has really happened for me then within the hobby and my YouTube rise to immortality or something along those lines? So since that January then, I've uploaded a number of different types of video, from battle reports to painting to assemblies, unboxing, all the different things associated traditionally with Warhammer hobbying. And you know, I've had mixed success with that. Some videos have attracted a lot of attention. I know my road to 8th edition seemed to do quite well. So that was where I was gathering sort of all the information that was becoming publicly available, semi kind of leak but more official source leak rather than the rumour mill and some of the early release copies and so on, just to make sure that I wasn't treading on any toes. That was good fun, doing all the research and making sure that I learnt sort of 8th edition as it was coming along, rather than landing the rulebook on my desk and then having to read it. Meant that I sort of was fairly clued up just before the actual rules dropped, and then, you know, sort of filled in all the gaps. That was good fun. But I do prefer doing the painting. I do prefer doing the battle reports, although they are quite traumatic to do battle reports and trying to film them with an overhead camera. Rather than the traditional, if you look at a lot of other channels, they try and sort of follow the action and try and commentate and so on. I wanted to try and do a different spin. Mixed success, you know, the camera quality from overhead isn't great. I am using an HD 1080p webcam. In fact, the one that you're looking at me on is the one I use for it. But at that range, you're not picking up great quality. So I need to work on that. That's something for the future. May have to resort to sort of hand cam and coming in and trying to capture some other angles. But I do like that top down, so you can sort of get a good view of what's going on rather than sort of looking at individual little pockets of battles and not seeing the sort of the big picture. But yeah, that's been good fun. I've improved my setup immensely. That's been a technical challenge. Getting a new microphone, playing around with different webcams, monitors, video editing. I've invested in Photoshop so I can cut my images and make better thumbnails and so on. If you ever look at my first thumbnail, I was using an online, I can't even remember where it came from now, Canvas, something along those lines. It was like a free editing burning software where you can take an image and then it will try and burn out all the crap in the background. I have invested in Photoshop. It's a lot better. I'm getting a lot better quality. I'm still messing around with thumbnails. It's still quite a bit fun. Some of them are a bit much, maybe even the one for this video is a bit much, who knows, but that's all part of the journey. I've obviously had to learn how to video edit a little bit better. Hopefully they're getting a bit slicker. Hopefully I'm saying and a little bbit less than when I first started. Not entirely sure when I go and view my videos and see that I have and a little bit too much. But you know, it's all a big learning curve. It's all a good bit of fun. So from a painting perspective, what have I managed to achieve this year? There's quite a few images that have appeared on the thumbnail for this video. In fact, some of them are stuff that I've done before and part of my showcases, but some of them have been from this year. So I've painted probably a good chunk of Thousand Suns. That was a new army for me this year, and also a massive chunk of Tzeentch Demons. Again, another new army for me this year, and I've dabbled with a couple of other bits and pieces. I've done a little bit of terrain here and there. I've painted up my Realm of Battle board, something I've owned and sat in the garage for a number of years since I bought that second hand. Yeah, so that got completed. I did a video on that. That was an interesting one. That was sort of filmed down in my garage, so I bought an external microphone and everything to take down there to record that. From a gaming perspective, I've had a lot more games this year than I had for the last probably 18 months before 8th edition. I'd really given up on 7th edition. It had become a ridiculous game to play. Far too many similar armies. If you really went to an event, it was just getting a bit ridiculous. I think a lot of people agreed. 8th edition rebooted that, gave it a good kick up the arse. We've all learnt a new system. I know some people still think that it's a little bit broken. I think they're tweaking a little bit too quickly. Certainly chapter approved. If you ever look at my little ranty video on chapter approved, I know that I think there's a bit of a knee jerk, but I still think now that any army can beat any army in the most part. So even if you haven't got a codex yet, and I think demons are coming out next, I'm very excited for that, that any army potentially can beat any other army regardless almost of the build. It's not like there's a must have unit that you go and build and go and play with and that will automatically win you the game. I don't think that exists. I think there are very strong combinations, but in general I think that 8th edition is going in the right direction, and we've all had to learn and adapt as we go and play. So that's been another good thing. And finally, really, to wrap this video up, is the support from the YouTube Warhammer community. I've been a member of the Legion of Gamza for 2 or 3 months now, maybe a little bit longer than that, which is a like-minded collection of amateur YouTubers, or wannabe YouTubers as it were, that sort of support each other and try and get sort of the best for each other's channels, whether that's encouraging subs when you hit a milestone, promoting some videos, making sure there's some comments on each other's videos, that kind of thing, and we all sort of follow each other. I think there's about 20 plus members in that. There's a varying number of uploads across that platform, but it's a very little supportive, close-knit group. We have a little Facebook group and everything else, keeps each other encouraged. Because it is a crowded space. YouTube is a crowded space no matter what topic you really do. I don't think any of us are going to aspire to be, the kind of level that PewDiePie's reached with 56 million subscribers or whatever ridiculous content and childishness that he does. Well, childishness as we play with plastic soldiers, but that's by the by. It's a very crowded space. There's a lot of channels. There's a lot of content. Some people have made it. Some people are sort of up there with a lot of subscribers. And fair play to them. If this channel ever gets to that heights, then so be it. If you're liking the content and you're subscribing, I do thank you very, very much indeed. It is so appreciated and keeps me motivated. I'm doing this regardless, right? So whether you like it, subscribe it, comment, dislike it, or whatever, if you're actually watching it, then thank you. I'm going to do it regardless because it's just good fun. And if you like watching it, then that is a bonus. I'm not sitting here, I'm not trying to do it for the money, I'm doing it for the enjoyment, trying to learn a new skill, trying to, just do something a little bit different around the hobby, and that's what's motivating me. So that's my little year in review. It's been fun. I've enjoyed every minute of it within the hobby space. There's been a few personal setbacks, but I'm not going to cover those. But there we go. Thank you to all the subscribers. Thank you to the Legion of Gamza. Thank you to other Facebook groups that I'm following and everything else that's going on with that. Really good fun bunch of guys. I've not quite met anyone yet in real life, but I think there are plans for next year where there might be a bit of a mini YouTube gathering, perhaps at Warhammer World or elsewhere. I'm certainly lining up a game with Nick Beer. Nick, I'm coming for you, sunshine. Be prepared with those Necrons of yours. I am coming. But until then, I hope you've had a good year. I hope you've had a good launch to 8th edition, embraced it, or not. But either way, look forward to 2018. Happy New Year, everybody, and I shall see you next year. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.